It's time to get spicy. Okay, I'm just kidding. Hey beauties, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be doing a kind of chatty get ready with me because we hit 4K. And I know I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much. And because we hit 4K, I asked you guys, like, what y'all want to know? What's the tea? What y'all want to know about me? So y'all answered both here on YouTube and on Instagram. So today's video, I'm just going to get ready, do my makeup, and answer all of your questions. I am also trying to go to the gym after this, so the timing of this makes no kind of sense in reality because I'm gonna do my makeup, wash it off, go to the gym, and come back again. But it's life, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now I'm just going in any particular order, so whatever question I get to, and I will have all of the products that I'm using down in the description box below. Okay, so starting with the YouTube questions, the first thing I got was, well, what are my top 3 indie brands? Honestly, I sat and mulled over this for so long because I find it so hard to pick just 3 indie brands. Like, indie makeup is such a beautiful community and just display of artistry because of the textures, the formulas, the impact that exists. But, like every community, it has its problems. So it's hard for me to pick just 3, but I did think I was able to narrow it down. First and foremost, Blend Bunny. And I say this with all of the love, like, Blend Bunny has the best matte eyeshadow formula. I didn't know what I was getting into when I actually fell in love with Blend Bunny cosmetics, because I just thought it was another brand, another rainbow palette. It is what it is. But I didn't know I couldn't blend until I tried Blend Bunny shadows, because the name really says it all. The shadows blend. They blend like a dream. And for me, what I've realized over time, over doing my makeup, as I've learned and grown, is that mattes are truly the base and the foundation for a good makeup look. If your mattes look patchy, if they don't blend, everything else looks like a hot ass mess. So having good mattes is just key in any makeup look for me. And Blend Bunny changed the game when it came to blending and having good matte eyeshadows. Like, they're the baseline. They're what I compare every other matte shadow to. So I have to give it to Blend Bunny as one of my favorite indie brands. Are the shimmers the best? Honestly, no. But the mattes be matting. And y'all know that mattes are like the vast majority of their palettes and how they're laid out. So definitely Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I also think that they're a brand that's like true to the love of makeup and true to artistry. I joined the indie community, I would say, right before it kind of exploded. I think that there was a point in which everybody realized how much money could be made by creating makeup. And it shifted from people who loved makeup and who wanted to be creative and have a brand to people who just saw dollar signs. And I absolutely hated that. And I think Blend Bunny is one of the brands that remains because of the fact that they actually did truly love and currently truly love the artistry of makeup and the entire profession of it. It's not just a money grab. So I really, really, truly enjoy Blend Bunny. The next one that I think I have to give it to is Nomad Cosmetics. It took me a while to get there, but definitely Nomad. And I'm picking Nomad as my second brand. And y'all, honestly, these things could shift tomorrow. They could shift today after I've had lunch. This is just how I'm feeling right now. But I'm picking them as my second brand because, one, the Nomad brand is centered around travel. And if you know anything, I love to travel. Like, I would give up everything, every single eyeshadow palette in my collection today if somebody said I would get unlimited flights for the rest of my life. Just saying. So the fact that their brand is centered around travel, it does inspire me because I feel like they put so much thought and effort into the products that they create. Like, all of the locations that they choose for their palettes, they spend a lot of time really diving into it. Like, they actually go to the location. So they're not just pulling it up from like YouTube searches. They go there, they spend time there, and they always pick a charity based off of that location that they can give back to. And I just think that that's absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, the quality is amazing. Again, this is another brand that I feel like is here for the makeup, has grown from strength to strength, has improved. Because when I look at some of the old Nomad palettes and their old formulas, it's definitely gotten better. And if you're going to be doing this, like, you have to keep getting better. Like, you can't just stay stagnant or decline and get worse. You know, they've gotten better in terms of their packaging, which is stunning. They really know how to stick to the theme. They've gotten better in terms of the formulation. And I just really appreciate that. They are one of my absolute favorite brands. And overall, even with getting better, the price is still nice. Y'all don't understand the kind of vitriol, which is probably too strong of a word, but the kind of vitriol I feel for these prices in the makeup industry right now. Because everything is expensive, and quite frankly, makeup is a luxury that is not needed. And when the price of food and the price of rent and the price of life is what it is, finding something that is affordable feels so good. Because none of us want to give up our hobbies, right? None of us want to give up the things that we enjoy doing. And Nomad's prices, even Blend Bunny's prices, they still remain at an affordable, attainable price point. So I appreciate the quality and appreciate the price point. And then third, I think I'm going to give it to Fantasy Cosmetica. And the reason why, and this is not because I think that their formula is anything spectacular. I honestly think that their formula is probably the most generic out of the three. The reason why I'm giving it to them is because I think they have been the indie brand that has taken the most risks since, you know, I've been in the community and since out of the brands that I've experienced. Because when you think about indie makeup, I'm sure you think about eyeshadow. That's it, you know, like that's the first thing that comes to mind. And then maybe you'll get a blush, you'll get a lipstick, you know, that type of stuff. But when Fantasy Cosmetica came out with fragrances, y'all, when I tell y'all, I was shooketh. Because I didn't expect that. I had not seen an indie brand do that before, especially an indie brand centered around makeup. And since then, they keep taking these big leaps and shifts that I have not seen any other beauty indie brands do. So not only do they have perfumes, but they also had candles, right? And I just love the risks that they take in their collection. And I also feel like, again, going back to what I said about Blend Bunny and Nomad, they're here for the artistry because most of their palettes are these 9-pan palettes. There's not a lot you can do with a 9-pan, but the fact that they're able to make their 9-pans so versatile just makes me really happy because you can go real monochromatic or real basic with a 9-pan, but they always give us a little bit of excitement, a little bit of drama. And I do think that they're also one of those brands that takes feedback very, very well, listens, and absolutely amazing. And not for nothing, because you guys know I can't be anything but transparent, I am an affiliate with all of these brands, and I think part of why they're on the list too is because my experience working with each of these brands has been absolutely phenomenal. The owners have been nothing short of pleasant and professional. And I feel so much happiness about the professional part, particularly because at the end of the day, they're running a business. I am a client and a collaborator, if you want to call it that, because I'm an affiliate. And there's always professionalism. And that's something that I think a lot of indie brands lack. And it's something that I have no time for. Like, so the fact that I've had very pleasant, because they're just nice people at the baseline, pleasant interactions with each and every single one of the owners, as well as professional interactions, it just makes my whole day because anybody got time for the drama or whatever else comes with some of these other indie brands. So those are my top three. That was a long-winded answer. Oh, Jesus, we're not going to get through any of these questions. But let's keep on going. Okay, next question. What brought you to the States? The Caribbean sounds like paradise to me. It is. It really is. And do you think you'll stay in the States long term? Or, I guess I'm assuming that meant to be or there. So I had very little, like, choice in coming to the States, but I'm not mad at it. So I moved to the US when I was 18. I'm in my 30s now. And it was probably one of the best decisions my parents made for me. I had finished secondary school back in Trinidad, and it was kind of like a question mark of like, am I going to stay in Trinidad? Am I going to go to university there or come here and go to university? I honestly wanted to stay in Trinidad, but for the basic reason of my friends were there. It was like, my friends are there, I'm gonna go to university, I'm gonna live in campus, and we're gonna have freedom, and we're going on fet. That's what it boiled down to. I just wanted to fet. But my parents had the foresight to know that, no, we're gonna send you to the States, and you're gonna go and do things with your life. So I ended up coming here. I went to college here, which was a great time. I made some of the best friends. And honestly, I love Trinidad. I love the Caribbean. The Caribbean is paradise. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like, I'm not even going to argue with you or hold you on that. It is one of the best places to live, to grow, to just be. And I I know that I'll eventually go back home. Not anytime soon, because I do think that one of the things that a lot of Caribbean islands lack is opportunity. And I don't say that in a way to be like putting down the islands, but it is a reality, because I saw how many of my friends struggled to find jobs after they had finished college, and some of them even had to move to other islands or to other countries overall just to find work. And I think that that is something that I don't really have the time for. Like, I'm not planning to go back home and to struggle. So there's just a lot more opportunity in the US. Like, the US has its faults, but opportunity is not one of them. You can literally be whatever it is you want to be here. And I really do appreciate the fact that I get to be here, and it has opened up the entire world. Like I said, growing up in Trinidad, it's a small island. Our population is 1.4, maybe 1.5 million people. It's small, and once you step out of your own country and you see that there's a whole world out there and there's so many people that live in so many different ways, you'll never want to stop traveling. And I appreciate the exposure that this has provided me. And, you know, like, there are days where I feel sad, where I want to be home, particularly once it's cold and it's wintertime. There's nothing worse than being in the US in the wintertime, because the lack of sunlight and the temperatures, struggle. But in terms of quality of life and the things that I'm able to do living here and the career I'm able to have, I wouldn't have that had I stayed in Trinidad. Not to be dramatic, it just is a fact. So I love home. I go home as much as I can, as much as my pockets and life will allow me to, and I will continue to do that, because I never see a point in my life where I will not love going home. But as of right now, I'm grateful for the fact that I get to live and grow here, and I'm just taking it all in stride. So that's where I'm at. So yes, I do plan to go back home eventually. I plan to be buried in Trinidad. Like, if I drop down tomorrow, please make sure y'all ship my backside back to Trinidad, because that's where Jesus wants me to be. I don't know how I know, but I know. You know what I mean? So that's that. That's a good question, though. I love talking about Trinidad. So if y'all ever have more questions about growing up in the islands, please let me know, because nothing brings me more joy than talking about my home. Okay, I saw this question come up a couple of times, so I'm just going to answer it in one whole flush. And the basic gist of the question is, like, what do you do for a living? What is your job? And I get it, because I've been wanting to know too, you know? So I like to say that YouTube is a job, because it is. It does feel like work, and in order for me to be successful at it, I have to treat it like a job. So on a sad day. So YouTube is one of my jobs, but I know y'all want to know what I do on a day-to-day, what pays the bills, okay? And I work in public policy. I know that's very broad and vague, and in some ways intentionally broad and vague for a couple of reasons. One, safety, security. I know how the interwebs works enough to not put my whole business out there. So there's a level of, like, transparency, and then there's a level of, okay, this is just not safe. So from a broad perspective, I work in public policy. Just to be clear, though, I am not a lawyer. I can't answer any of your lawyery questions. I can't help you in any way, form, or fashion there. So to give you an idea of where I fall on the spectrum, we're going to go back into, like, the basics of politics and policy, right? Okay, so as you all know, or maybe you don't know, so because you're probably not in America. In the US, there are 3 branches of government: the legislative, executive, and judicial. My work more closely aligns with the legislative branch of government. The legislative branch of government, they create the laws. They say this is what you can and cannot do. But I work in kind of like the step after laws are made. So after Congress, you know, the senators, the House of Representatives, all those people, after they create a law that says X must happen or X must not happen, then it is typically up to federal agencies to set guidance on how that law would actually look in reality, how it will be implemented. So that's why there are a number of agencies like the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Food and Drug Administration, the FTC, which you've probably heard a lot of, particularly when it comes to like social media content, because they're the ones that put out the guidance around disclosing ads and disclosing sponsorships and disclosing PR. So that is where my work really centers, is in that sort of branch where these agencies are working to implement what the law says and putting out guidance around that. So again, not a lawyer, but I work in public policy such that I spend a lot of my time reading bills, reading guidance from these agencies, and kind of like synthesizing it, because usually it's like pages and pages of nonsense. Not nonsense. Pages and pages of a lot of words to get to one very small point. So that's what my work looks like. And so it's a lot of that like synthesis, analysis, policy analysis, and then kind of like support and guidance and almost like consulting to help implement different changes. Because one of the interesting things about the US is that in addition to like the federal oversight, each state has its own laws and its own priorities and its own issues, particularly depending on like the political climate of the state. So things look very different state by state. So that's where my work falls. I enjoy it. I find it to be very interesting, very invigorating, sometimes infuriating, but it is a lot mentally. And I love the challenge, because spending hours, again, reading bill text and reading guidance to find that one sentence where if you change a word, it changes the meaning. So, you know, changing something from no more than to at least can change the meaning of a policy completely. So I love the mental task of that. I love the fact that I get to really spend my days using my brain to like read and understand and digest very hard, complex things. Okay, the next question is, what do your folks and friends think about you being a YouTuber? Honestly, I think they like it. I think some of them don't care, and then some of them like it. Like, my love for beauty is mine, in that, like, my family members don't really love it as much as I do, but they do support that it is something that I enjoy and something that brings me a lot of joy. My dad watches all of my videos. It's so cute because he has no idea about makeup at all. Like, knows not a damn thing. But he watches my videos anyway. He supports. And I know he supports because he'll ask me questions about my content. So you guys remember a couple of weeks ago I told you I wanted to do new makeup releases outside. Well, I was talking to my dad last week and he was like, "Did you find a spot yet for your videos?" And I was like, "What?" "Yeah, outside." And he's like, "You know, you have to be careful." I'm like, "Yes, Dad." He's such a girl dad. Like, he's like, "I need to ask you about it so I can make sure that you found the spot where you're not going to get kidnapped." Basically. My dad was a fireman. He's retired now. So he's always thinking about safety and that kind of stuff. So yeah, but he does watch my videos, and I just think it's the sweetest thing because I know he has no idea what's going on, nor does he care. Like, he does not care about makeup, but he just watches to support, and I absolutely love it. You know, my sisters will watch my videos from time to time, but they also don't care about makeup as much as I do, so I think that's totally fine, totally acceptable, totally understandable. But they don't dislike that I do YouTube. They really don't. They're very, very supportive, and I love that, and I appreciate that. Most of my friends who are not from the beauty community also don't give a damn about it. Which, again, I think that that's life, where you'll have pockets of people that are interested in various things. Like, I have my beauty community who loves makeup and who can talk about makeup with me for hours. And then I have people that are interested in other things. Carnival, travel, all that fun jazz. So, yeah. That's kind of what I think it works out to be. Oh, this is a nice one. What are your favorite hair care products at the moment? Ooh. So I love Design Essentials. That has been one of my go-to in terms of hair products for years. But honestly, I have not been using it a lot as of late. I have kind of gone down this rabbit hole of the Taraji TPH hair care line. Her products are absolutely amazing, and they're honestly quite affordable. You can find them at Target. You can find them at Walmart. I've been finding mine at TJ Maxx pretty recently. So actually like that it's kind of pretty accessible and very, very affordable. I definitely just ate a little bit of that, but okay. Oh, I should not have talked while I was doing that. But yeah, so the Taraji TPH line is actually really nice. And I think that's what I've been using, honestly, pretty much the last month or so, particularly when I do my twist out, and it's what's been made my hair really, really curly. Funny enough, I actually gave a couple of the creams to some of the coaches at my gym. I was like, try this in your hair, because they'd asked about like, how do I get it curly and moisturized, and I was like, I got you. So the Taraji TPH line, definitely recommend it. Couldn't recommend it more. If you have hair that is not as coarse or as dry, I would say check out the Pattern Beauty line by Tracy Ellis Ross. I think hers is nice, but I honestly think her products are not designed for the kinkiest, coiliest hair because they don't add a lot of moisture. Taraji's products keep my hair moisturized, but the Pattern products, I don't think that they keep my hair as moisturized. I think that if I had thinner, finer hair, probably less kinky hair, it would have been a better product for me, but not as it stands, you know? This is the messiest get ready with me. And it's fine because, again, I'm going to wash this off and go to the gym immediately. So don't judge me because my face looks crazy. Okay, the next question is, what is your favorite American food and from where? What is American food? And I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be funny. I just don't know what American food is. Is it like big as in fries? Is it... Again, I am not trying to be funny. I just don't know what it is because, like, you know, I love Italian food. I love pasta, which I'm, again, Italian. I love, like, Asian food. Like, I love dumplings. I love Thai food. I love, ramen, like, you know, those types, again, Asian-inspired food, or not Asian-inspired, just Asian food, and then I love my, like, Caribbean food, my curry, and even Caribbean food has a little bit of Asian there, because, like, curry's Indian food, I love my roti, my doubles, so, yeah, if y'all can tell me what American food is, I would greatly appreciate it. I could get down with a good burger and fries, but is that like American? But just so y'all know, I like to eat. It's the reason I'm fat now, you know? Like, if you've been following some of my, like, videos, which I need to do more on, I am on this sort of health weight loss journey, and part of my struggle is that I just like to eat, okay? I love to eat, and I love to snack, so... I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better. I'm realizing that I'm at the point in that healthcare journey that I just need to stop keeping snacks in the house. You know, I used to think I could do things in moderation. Like, oh, I'll have a snickety snack here and there. No, girl. I'm at the point where I need to have it completely out of my atmosphere. And only when I get, like, my diet under control, then I can consider bringing snacks back into my life. Because as of right now, I don't have the self-control that I need to resist snacks. So, fun update on my health and weight loss journey, guys. But yeah, I do enjoy eating. No, I will say, I do enjoy a good cheesesteak. It does hit my stomach though. I feel like I associate American food with a lot of like fried things. So it's definitely on like the greasier side of things. That being said though, Caribbean food isn't exactly much better. It can be very fried and greasy too. But yeah, I don't mind a good cheesesteak. I live in Philadelphia, so, Philly cheesesteak, man. Can't get enough of it. And you can never go wrong with, like, a good Wawa hoagie. It's like a cold sub. But Wawa be Wawa, man. If you don't know what Wawa is, I'm so sorry, but Wawa is amazing. Anyways, let's stop talking about food, because now I'm just going to get hungry. Okay. Again, skipping over all of the questions about my job, because I think I've answered it. But if you all want more, like, if you want to know more about my job, just let me know. Because, like, I don't mind talking about it. There's a level of, like, I need to, that I obviously I want to keep private for safety reasons. But depending on what the question is, I don't mind talking about it. If you're new here, one thing, or if you've been here with a while, you probably get the sense. With me, what you see is what you get. Like, I don't have the energy to try to be a whole different person on Beyonce's internet. So, with me, what you see is what you get. You'll get probably an edited down version of me. Like, you're not going to get all of me, because I think we all have different sides of us that we show to different communities. Like, the way I am with my family is obviously very different from the way I am with my coworkers. But I'm the same person. What you see is what you get. And I'm sure my YouTube friends who have actually met in real life can attest to that. So, yeah. And that was not an answer to any question, but let's keep on going. Okay, so how long does it take how long does it take you typically to do the makeup looks we see? About an hour, depending, because and it depends on how, like, intricate my looks are. If I'm doing something that I feel is very detailed, or I want it to be very detailed, or if I decide that I want to do an eyeshadow look that has, like, 6 different eyeshadow colors, it takes me a little while, because if you know me, you know that I will blend from now until thy kingdom come. So I actually spend a lot of time blending my eyeshadow, which takes up so much time. The rest of my face, like, base, everything else is about 30 minutes. So, like, honestly, 30 minutes is the baseline for, like, my foundation and everything else. And then the rest of my, like, makeup, like my eyeshadow, could be anywhere from, like, 10 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how detailed it is. So I would say about an hour overall, and I try to edit all of that down, because nobody wants to see me blend for like 20 minutes. It really is that obnoxious sometimes. But I'll throw on a podcast, I'll throw on some music, and I'll just get into it. And if I'm talking through it like I am now, it takes like 3 times as long, because I'm really bad at doing both. So I'm trying to get better. All of this is practice, right? Okay, and then the last question on YouTube before we switch to the Instagrams. Wait, no, I have 2 more from YouTube. What is your favorite Jamaican dish? I don't know if this is Jamaican, but oxtail. Ooh, Jesus, I love a good oxtail. And I'm saying I don't know if it's Jamaican, because I know that, other Caribbean islands make oxtail too. So, like, we make it in Trinidad. I know probably Guyana and all these other islands do it as well. So if it is, like, originally from Jamaica, let me know. But I love a good oxtail, man. Whew, and it falls off the bones. A nice stew oxtail. Hallelujah. And jerk chicken is nice too. But it has to be right. Because some people will do that dry jerk chicken thing and there's no kind of sauce. And then you're just choking on the spice. But it has to have some sauce in it. But a nice jerk chicken with some fries. Ooh. Y'all just making me hungry, man. Hungry. It's too early to be this hungry. Okay, and then the last question that I got on YouTube was, did your engagement end? Yes. If you are watching this, you probably have no idea. If you haven't been with me for a little bit, I should say, if you joined fairly recently, you probably did not know that I was engaged. I was supposed to actually get married last October. And it did end. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into it, because honestly, it don't even really matter anymore. Maybe I'll do a separate story time on that. But I will say I'm okay, in case y'all were wondering. I have been through like all of the stages of grief, the tears, the anger, the denial, all of it. Been through it, and I'm on like the other side of it now. I'm in a very good place. I have learned a lot about myself and what I deserve, what I'm willing to accept. And, you know, I'm happy now. And funny enough, this question, like whoever asked this question, it came up like the day after I feel like I officially closed that book and that relationship. Because the thing about it is that me and my ex, we were together for 5 years, right? And like again, we were engaged and it ended, but it didn't end on a good note. I'll just say that. It did not end on a good note. But as a lot of relationships do when they're going through like things, people realize where they did wrong and then they want to come back. And it was a point for me. Was this last week? Probably last week. There was a point for me last week where I was like, and I'm done. And I think a lot of times as women, we have that thing where, you know, we want to be empathetic. We want to be nice. We want to be accepting and forgiving. And that allows people to just play in our face and take advantage of our kindness. But then something clicks. And when that thing clicks where you're like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's very, very interesting. And I had that last week. And since then, I feel lighter. I feel freer. I feel more like myself. And honestly, last year was like this journey back to me. And it has been such an interesting... I know I'm not applying any makeup at this point. But it's been such an interesting process of me realizing all of the parts of myself that I lost, all of the parts of myself that I willingly gave away, and forgiving myself for that and coming back to a place where I feel like myself. And not only just like coming back to feeling like myself, but building myself into a better person where I actually have boundaries now. I actually feel less guilt and less guilt really saying no. Like, it's become so easy for me like to be now like, no, that's not it, and to prioritize myself and my happiness. You know, like there was a point in like the last couple of years where I was so focused on making everybody else happy and, you know, being there for everybody else that I forgot to be there for myself. And it felt like me being there for myself was me being selfish, you know, which is a hard thing to try to wrap your mind around, because like taking care of yourself and putting your needs at the forefront is not a selfish activity, depending on how you do it, right? So it was a lot of like unlearning a lot of those things, a lot of mindfulness, and really spending time in my feelings, and again, a lot of forgiving myself, because I feel like I blamed myself for a lot of things, and I've come to the point where I've taken accountability for what I did and didn't do, a lot of what I didn't do, and forgiven myself and like have let it go. And that's a really, really good feeling. And now I'm just in this place where I'm being mindful of the things that bring me joy, the things that fill my cup. Like one of the things that I said in a previous video, I don't even know however long ago, was that I'm at the point now where I want to fill my own cup. And you know, there's like this saying where you can't pour from an empty cup, and some of us just let our cups get to the point where we literally have nothing left. And we wait until we're empty to start to fill our own cup. And that's not the life I'm trying to live. I need to fill my cup so that it's overflowing and you can get the excess. That's where I'm at. I don't want to be pouring until my cup is empty and then being like, okay, now I need to step back and take care of myself and practice true self-care. No. I need to make sure that I'm good. My cup is so full that it's just overflowing, and everybody else that's around me is going to be reaping the benefits of my overflow. That's where I'm at in my life. So I appreciate you for asking this question, because you were bold. You know, I asked y'all for spicy questions and y'all kept it real tame. But I think this was the only one that was like, girl, did you not get married? So no, I did not get married. My engagement did end, but like I said, I'm in a good place, you guys. It's a lot, and if y'all want like a full story time on it, let me know, and I can actually like better prepare my thoughts so that I can share it with you guys. Okay. Since we're talking about relationships, this is actually a really funny question, and don't judge me, but one of you guys asked, who is your celeb crush? I feel like when it comes to celebrities, I don't really like have crushes on them like that, but there has been one that has like lived in my head rent free and has honestly gotten sexier as they age, and that has to be Tom Welling. I grew up watching Smallville. It was one of my absolute favorite shows. I loved it. And when I tell you that man was just delicious, he was delicious. And there was just something about his smile. I have a thing for smiles. Like, honestly, my favorite feature on a man is probably his smile. Because there's just something about a smile that, like, starts like, you know, in the smile region, but then it extends all the way up to the eyes, and you like can really see almost like a little twinkle. And oh, he had that little twinkle. He also had these cute little dimples, and he had these perfect canine teeth. Something about good teeth too. Well, I mean, y'all already know, like when somebody got raggedy teeth, it's hard because like how do you have a conversation? But like good natural teeth, because I'm also not a fan of the veneers. That just looks stupid to me. If you have veneers, I'm sorry. But I feel like there's a way to do it that looks natural, but then there's like the chiclets where it's one, too white, and two, too uniform, where you've lost all sort of uniqueness. So but we're not going to go down the rabbit hole of veneers. But he had these perfect canine teeth. They were a little pointy and made them look a little vampire-ish, but he was so cute. Oh my god, he was adorable. And I'll try to insert like a but he was my celebrity crush. And honestly, he's gotten really cute as he's aged, you know? But other than that, I feel like I was not like a big into like celebrities like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I ever like really like went down the rabbit hole of like, yeah, celebrity crushes. Like another person who has that smile that just radiates and it just spreads across their whole face. Denzel. Denzel has that smile that literally just like, it starts here, it grows, and then it just kind of like twinkles. If you remember that movie that he did, what was it? The Preacher's Wife with Whitney Houston. So damn cute. Yeah, so honestly, if a celebrity's got a good smile, that's where I get hooked. But not many of them do, you know? And having a good smile, like you can have a nice smile, but it's that sort of like radiation, man. But yeah, Tom Welling, I'm going to tell you all that now. Because other than that, I can't think of any other celebrity. Anyways, moving along to the next question. This one I thought was also pretty funny. It's like, how on earth did you ever get into Nickelback? If you didn't know, I am a huge, and I mean huge, Nickelback fan. If you don't like Nickelback, mind your business, okay? I'm not here for the Nickelback slander. We will not slander Nickelback on my channel. Personally, I don't understand how people don't like them. Is their music revolutionary and gonna change the world? No, but it's nice. And I don't know when I started to like them, but I definitely know it was probably back when I was in like secondary school. So, you know, at that age, I feel like I was listening to a lot of like that alternative rock music. So I was definitely into the Nickelbacks, the Daughtries, the Creeds, the Linkin Parks, the Avril Lavigne. That was the kind of music that I was listening to that was outside of like my, you know, the Caribbean music. Because I also grew up with, you know, the calypso, the soca, the reggae, and the old school R&B jams. Like my parents did not play when it came to like the old school music. So, you know, my dad loved a lot of Luther Vandross. Like, all of those things are things, Barris Hammond, those are the things that I grew up listening to. Still love them till today. I would say my music catalog is pretty diverse. The one thing I would say I did not actually listen to a lot growing up was hip-hop. Well, not really hip-hop, but like rap. You know that rap where it's like, get money, bleep, 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 bleepity bleep. That was not me. Because for me, if you didn't know, I love to dance. Like, honestly, I love a good whine, a good shimmy, shimmy, a good shake. And I don't understand how to dance to, like, rap. Like, what do you do? I don't know. I want to shake my waist. I want to whine. You know, and even if it's like a slow grind, which you do with the old school slow jams or whatever, I want to dance. And I feel like I never got that from like the hip hop rapidy side of things. And it was also just a little too aggressive. Anyways, bringing it back to Nickelback, because that's what y'all asked about. Nickelback, I think it must have been Photograph, because that was the song that actually made them like huge. So they had like, you know, Photograph, which everyone clones till this day, but I think it's a nice song. But then when you listen to the rest of their catalog, a lot of their music is actually feel-good music. It's very much like, can we like come together and love each other and treat each other better? And also like, let's live in the moment and enjoy life now, because you don't know how long life is gonna, like, you know, that's the vibe of their music. And I actually really like that, because that's how I try to live my life. And, you know, whenever I'm in a bad mood, when I'm feeling sad, it just like, I feel like the music's a good reminder to, you know, do the best that you can, help people when you can, and just live, because you don't know what tomorrow could bring. So I don't know, I just really like it. And it's not like, it's not too deep. It's not like some deep music that you need to like sit and wallow in. Like, it really is just fun and light and just a good vibe, good beat, not too like hardcore rock either. I've seen them in concert twice too. I took my sister to the last concert, which was a couple months ago. And I don't think that they had the best time, but I had a good time. Because I was like, yeah. And I will probably see them in concert every time I can. Just saying, because it's a good time. It really is. Okay, so, what's your favorite Caribbean dish, and when was the last time you had it? How dare you ask me to pick just one? That's so rude. I don't think I could just pick one, because, I mean, come on now. There's so much that we can eat and so much good food. Let's see. Crab and dumplings. There's just something about a little bit of crab and dumplings. I'm giving you a rundown, because there's no way I could pick just one. So crab and dumplings is amazing. I actually think it's the national dish of Trinidad and Tobago. And something about a good crab and dumpling. But one of like my best comfort foods is actually oil dog. And funny enough, it's not even Trinidadian, it's actually Grenadian. But my mom did grow up in Grenada for a little bit, so I have roots in Grenada. As most Caribbean people do, you know, we tend to have a little bit of something in other islands. So my mom grew up in Grenada for a couple of years, and one thing that she makes, and I love, is a good oil dog. It is like provisions, which, for you know, provisions is like potato, cassava, yam, plantain, fig, all of that. And it's like cooked with coconut or coconut milk and all these other things. Delicious. It's like soup, but not. Soup, but better. Because it doesn't have like a soupy texture to it. It's actually a little thick. If I can find a picture, I will insert it. But something about a good oil dog. I've been trying to get my mom to teach me how to make it for some time now. So next time she comes up, I'm going to have her teach me how to make it. But, whew. I think, I'm going to go with oil dog. Yeah, that's going to be it. Because nothing beats an oil dog, man. Nothing. Okay, so the next question is, does your channel impact your private or professional life? Do people know judge, or are they supportive? Okay, let me see. Let me think about how to answer this. For the most part, people are very supportive of my channel. Like, a lot of people are like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, that's so great. I'm glad that you love it. Keep it up, right? Keep on doing it. Funny enough, my channel actually caused a lot of problems with my ex in the beginning, because the thing about doing YouTube is that it's not difficult, but it is time consuming. And when you first start a channel, one thing you don't realize is how much time it actually takes. And it takes a lot of time because you're learning. Everything is brand new. You have to learn how to film, how to edit. And I remember it used to take me days to film and edit a video. Like, it would take me 2 to 3 days to edit a video before I posted it. And now I can do it all within a couple hours because I've gotten faster, because obviously practice makes like things go faster. But back then, it took so long, you guys. It took so long. And I remember we would get into, like, a lot of fights about it because it was like, okay, how are you, like, you need to be able to balance better so that we can have time for us. Which was a fair, ask. But, I mean, we all know how that relationship ended. Anyways, but yeah, other than that, most people, are quite supportive. I have not had anybody be like, oh, why are you doing that, or judge me for it. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. And the people in my life, the people that I keep around, are like the best human beings possible. So I could never see any one of them coming out and being like, ew, why would you do that? It's always been like, oh my gosh, congrats, like, keep going, girl, keep going, sis. Like, because that's the people that I surround myself with. And yeah, they've all been just absolutely amazing, phenomenal. Okay, let's see what else. What other questions we got here? Oh, I didn't finish the second half. The second half was, how does it affect your professional life? Professionally, it doesn't. Like, most people have no idea that I even have a YouTube channel at work, and I don't think we would ever really cross paths. Like, them stumbling into my YouTube channel seems very unlikely. And one thing I do is I keep my professional and my personal life pretty separate. One thing that you probably won't ever see me doing on this channel is getting political or talking about, like, politics, because I work in the public policy sphere of things. It's just not appropriate for me to do that. So I would never bring that to this public platform. And as much as I love YouTube and as much as I love doing this, like, I always make sure that my life outside of this is stable. Because at the end of the day, this don't pay any bills, y'all. This pays 0 bills. It does fulfill me in a different way. But it is so important for me to maintain, like, relationships with my family, my friends, or whatever it is. Like, at the end of the day, if it was a choice between, oh, I need to film this video because this palette releases tomorrow, or, oh, I need to go have dinner with my friends, I'm gonna have dinner with my friends. Like, that's how it comes in terms of priority. And I don't think you guys mind, okay? Like, that's just the reality of my life right now. So that's kind of, it is what it is. And to that point, one of the other questions that I got asked was if I would actually, would I do this full time? I don't think so. And it's not because I think that this is no worthwhile job doing full time. Obviously, there are people who do this and who absolutely love it. And I'm very happy that they're able to make this a career. But personally, I don't think that I would be fulfilled being a full-time YouTuber. I love creating makeup. This is an amazing outlet for me. But I think that there's something that shifts once the thing that you create that's your passion becomes your job. There's been this kind of like shift in recent years where you have to have a side hustle and you really should make your passion make money for you. But I don't think you have to. If there's something that you like to do, it doesn't have to become another job or a side hustle or something that you do that earns you money. You can just do it because you love it. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the whole like hustle culture of America, or the fact that just life is so expensive now that there's this like desire to always have what we're doing become some sort of passive income or active income, and and I don't think that that's completely necessary. And so making that shift is not something that I'm interested in doing, because I really don't want to like have to think of this as like a full-time job where literally my life depends on it. And that gets me to the second point of this, is that I need some stability. And if it's one thing I know about social media, is that it offers zero stability, because 1 minute you're up, next minute you're down. And, the algorithm can change every 2.5 business days, and we have no control over that. And that is something that I don't love, because then it also translates into, like, true dollars. Like, having a salary brings a little bit of stability in that every 2 weeks I know what I'm going to get paid. With YouTube, it really depends on how many views you have. And that then translates into constantly needing to film, constantly needing to think of new content and new ideas. And you don't really get the opportunity to take a break in the same way, because it can affect your views, and that can be problematic. Or relying, on sponsorships from brands who can change their mind anytime. Like, we've seen how brands operate. They're businesses. They're going to do what's right for them. So that instability of like, maybe I'll make $1,000 one month to maybe I'll make $200 a month, that is not something that I can like work with. I'm very risk avoidant in a lot of ways, and having a paycheck that I don't know what's going up or down, that is something that I don't feel comfortable with. And then lastly, and not to sound, I hope this doesn't come off bad, but like, this isn't mentally taxing enough for me. Like I said, I love my job. I love having to spend my days like doing deep dive analyses on very complex things. And I love like getting to write and publish in my current position and in my, you know, my field entirely. And that sort of mental load, even though it can be quite exhausting, is still something I enjoy. Like, I spent years going to school and getting multiple degrees to do this. Like, and is it something that I'm going to do forever? Probably not. Like, I might wake up one day and be like, you know what, sis is tired. And that's completely fair. But as of right now, I like the mental energy that I expend doing this. I like also like the coworkers and the colleagues and the other very smart people that I get to meet in my field. And I don't think that YouTube is going to mentally stimulate me enough. Again, I don't say that to be like, oh, it's not mentally stimulating, but it's just not enough for me, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. Okay, so we have one more question, but let me go finish up the rest of my face, make my hair look like hair, and then I'll come back and answer that, and then we'll wrap up this video. Okay, so I just brushed my hair a little bit, and we got two little poofs going that are not straight or even. But it is what it is. Anyways, this video is already an hour long, so let's quickly wrap things up. Now, the last question was really broad and vague, so I'm just going to take it wherever Jesus leads me. And it was, how do you keep doing it? I don't know what the it is you're referring to, but I'm going to do my best to answer. And again, I'm going to give you all a really broad and vague answer. I keep doing it because what else am I going to do? You know what I mean? And I don't know if the it means YouTube, if the it means life, but honestly, let's look at it both ways, right? So with YouTube, I keep doing it because I genuinely find joy and happiness from this. One of the other reasons too why I don't feel interested in making this a career is because I want to be able to stop when I'm just like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. And I don't want to have to then wrestle with the idea of like, oh, well, now what am I gonna do for money? And right now, currently, it brings me so much joy, you guys. If you didn't know, if you couldn't tell, I'm an extrovert. I love people. I love being around people. I love interacting and engaging with people. And I really struggled during COVID because we were home and what else was there to do? And now I currently still work from home, so I don't get that same kind of engagement with like being around coworkers because I'm not going into an office. And being home and being single and living on your own, it can be very lonely sometimes. So I feel like I'm constantly trying to put myself in positions where I get to engage and interact with other people. And being an adult and making friends is hard. If you are in the same space, you know, like it is very hard to meet people as an adult, and you actually have to actively work at it. You actually have to actively put yourself in places and in positions to interact and meet people. And I can say truly that from being on YouTube and from doing this, I've made some real friends. Like, not just people that I chat with occasionally, but people who have my phone number, have my address, can call me, can text me, people who have met in real life. Like, Kara and I are actually real friends. Like, Dr. Ash, Yadi. Like, I've met Yadi in person. Like, we text all, you know, we have a group chat where we text all the time. Sunsaray or Enamored Beauty. When I was in California, like, I'd gotten so close with her that I was like, hey sis, are you anywhere near me, you know? Daph's Love Makeup's Jana, who's chick Brooklyn. I'm forgetting her Instagram profile. But we live in like the tri-state area, so Philly, New Jersey, New York, which is close enough for us to meet up. And we've met up a couple of times. So I've met real friends on this platform. And a lot of you guys, like, we DM on Instagram all of the time. If you're not following me on IG, definitely recommend you do that because it's where I'm most active, and where I also, like, you just see all different aspects of my life. So that keeps me going, is that I love the little community and the actual, like, real friends that I make here. All of the drama that comes with beauty, like, I could give two shits about. I don't care. I'm not here for it. That's not why I'm here. I know that's not why you guys are here. So that's why I keep doing it. And as my channel, like, grows and changes and evolves, like, I plan to keep doing it for as long as it makes me happy. I don't know what it's going to look like, because one thing that I felt very strongly about in creating this channel is I don't necessarily want this to be a beauty channel. Like, I wanted it to be just sort of my channel, which is why I'm trying to show you guys different aspects of my life, which is why I thought doing this Q&A would be fun, because you would get to know me better. As more than just like, oh, that's that girl who likes makeup. You know what I mean? So I want to bring more of myself to this platform. I will always bring my full authentic self to this, but I plan to bring, like, all of the other things that interest me here as well, as much as I feel comfortable and as much as it doesn't take away from the experience. Because one of the things that I actually thought about doing on this channel was incorporating travel into it. And when I tell y'all I have zero interest in filming while I travel, because I just want to enjoy travel, it's made me, like, shift and be like, is this just something you want to keep for yourself? Or maybe, like, think about content in a different way. So I'm still playing around with it. You know, I still am definitely not an expert in this. I'm still learning and growing and figuring it out as things go along. And that's kind of where I am with, like, it. Now, how do I do it in, like, the grand scheme of life? Jesus, hallelujah. If you didn't know, I am a very religious person. Like, my spirituality, my connection to Jesus is such an important and core part of my life. Waking up every Sunday to go to church has become, or been reintegrated into my routine. And honestly, I feel so much better when I start my week off with, like, going to church and, like, you know, talking to God and, like, reconnecting with, like, Jesus and my, like, overarching purpose. I spend a lot of time worrying about what's next, what my life is gonna look like, what is my purpose. And every time I lean into, like, Jesus has a plan, what are you worried about, and, like, trusting him and following him, it brings me, like, a different level of peace. So, you know, there were a lot of points last year, and a lot of points even, like, this year, where I'm like, okay, where is my life going? I'm not getting married anymore. I don't necessarily know if I want to stay at this job anymore. Like, all of the things that can, like, put you into turmoil. And it was leaning into my faith, and that brought me peace. And it still is the only thing that truly ever brings me peace. Sometimes I just go find me a little buddy of water and sit down and I talk to Jesus. And sometimes I just be talking to Jesus in a regular. That's the other thing about living alone, is that you can just be having conversations with God like you're talking to a good friend, and it doesn't feel weird. It's like, really, Jesus? This is what you want me to do? But yeah, my faith means so much to me. It's such an important part of my, like, life and who I am, and part of what I will continue to do is, like, to grow that aspect. And lastly, family, man. Like, I have the best family. I have the best parents, the best siblings, the best sister cousins, like, the best friends who, like, my oldest and closest friends who I've known for as long as I've known myself are still, like, huge parts of my life. And having a support system like that, I can't say how much that, like, truly means, you know, because I know not everybody gets that. And I know how lucky I am to have that many people in my life that ride for me so hard. And they keep me going, man. And, like, these are the people that would bury a body with me. Just saying. Like, without question. They would come shovels ready. And I'd do the same for them. So, yeah, you know, it really is that faith, family, friends that really encompasses me and makes me full, right? And lastly, I think it's all about choice, right? Life is hard. And if you live within the US, you know that it can be extremely hard. And every day I have to wake up and choose to be happy. I have to wake up and choose to be present and mindful and grateful. I have to make that choice actively. Otherwise, I could let all of the noise, all of the stress, all of the drama just kind of encompass me and like sink me into depression and resentment and hatred and like anger. And that's not who I want to be as a person. There's a lot of things to be sad and angry about, but I can't live in that. Like, I can't live like that every day. So every day I wake up and I make a choice to be happy, to be the best version of myself that I can be, and to love on me, and to make sure that that love exudes to other people so that they feel loved as well. Okay, that was long. If you are still here at the end of this video, thank you. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for getting me to 4,000 subs. That is no small feat for me. I honestly didn't even think I was going to get to 1,000 when I started this channel. But I appreciate you all so much more than you know. I can't wait to continue making content for you guys. If you want to see any kind of spin-off or like other questions based on this video, please let me know in the comments below. If you have nothing to say and you just want to show your support, please go ahead and leave an orange heart. Y'all know that means so much to me. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much more than you know, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.